Hello everybody, Happy New Year. I hope you're all having a great day, all things considered. Let's cover a quick update on the next stimulus check and the next stimulus package. The Senate just held a vote and a debate on $2,000 stimulus checks. Let's discuss what happens next. We'll also cover when you'll receive your smaller stimulus checks and how to make sure you get your unemployment boost and those rental assistance payments. Do you think Congress should stop getting paychecks until they approve the $2,000 stimulus checks? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Welcome back to my channel. My name's Andrew and thank you for taking the time to watch my video. Don't forget to like this video if you like this content and subscribe. I post updates almost daily. Okay, we're going to discuss the vote on $2,000 stimulus checks in just 2 minutes. But first, I'd like to thank my sponsor Webull. They've partnered with me to provide free stocks for my viewers valued up to $1,600. It's completely free and takes 2 minutes. All you need to do is open an account using my link. The link is in the description of this video just below the like button. Feel free to sell the stocks immediately to use the money if you'd like. Just make sure to open an account and then click on the green button that says Get Free Stocks. Okay, let's take a look at front page news and then we'll get right into stimulus. Now, CNBC is criticizing Trump, saying that he is boasting about his response to the pandemic after largely ignoring it for the last month, which was, of course, the worst month of the pandemic thus far, and even slamming him for ignoring the pandemic in the beginning of it when he said it would pass by Easter, guys. But let me know in the comments if you agree with CNBC criticizing Trump for this. Now, they're referring to the fact that yesterday, Trump released a video on his Twitter summarizing the year, saying that he did a really good job with the pandemic, he did a really good job with the economy, the stock market is booming, as well as having a vaccine approved in less than 9 months. Now, there are people that say Trump did do a good job. Overall, we got the vaccine released, and people expect the pandemic to be under control in the next 6 to 8 months. But as of now, cases are at all-time highs, and CNBC is basically slamming Trump for saying this in his video, guys. But let me know in the comments if you agree with CNBC. Now, I do like to show you both sides of the spectrum, so I'm going to show you Fox News as well. Of course, they do not slam Trump very often, and right now on front page Fox News, they are focusing on these Georgia Senate elections. Now, a lot of you know that these 2 Senate seats left up for election in Georgia are set to be up for vote on January 5th, and if Democrats win both of those seats, we are expected to have a massive stimulus package because at that point, Democrats would control the Senate. They already control the House and, of course, will control the White House once Biden is inaugurated. So these elections have a massive impact on stimulus. If Republicans are able to maintain control of the Senate, we will probably end up in the same power struggle and might not have the next stimulus check for another 6 months, similar to this last one that took 6 months. But if Democrats are able to pull it off and win both of those seats, expect a massive stimulus package in the next 1 to 2 months as soon as Biden is inaugurated. Now, where do things stand in these elections? Well, currently, they are dead tied, okay? Now, depending on which polls you look at, the Republicans and Democrats are essentially in a dead tie in these elections. So there is a chance Democrats could take these seats. Now, whether you vote Democrat or Republican, I think we can all agree that we want massive stimulus approved. So a lot of Republican voters are now going towards Democrat in Georgia, guys. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But specifically, Fox News is calling out these 2 Democrats, saying they are using dirty tricks to try and win this election. Basically, they called out one of the Republican senators and tried to say that they were campaigning with a Ku Klux Klan member, okay? And in fact, that's not actually true. And that Republican senator came out and basically rebuked that statement. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think of this. Of course, this is why I like to show you both sides of the spectrum, because CNN and CNBC will not show you this type of thing. But let me know in the comments if you agree with Fox. But let's see exactly what top congressmen are saying about the stimulus checks, about these $2,000 checks, and then we'll cover exactly what happened today with the negotiation, with the vote that was just held, and what is expected to happen in the next couple of days. Well, Senator Josh Hawley, he is making a name for himself, isn't he? Because up until a week or 2 ago, basically most of us did not even know who this man was. But he is the senator of Missouri, and he has been in strong support of these larger $2,000 stimulus checks. Now, he tweeted just this morning that he was going to once again try and have these $2,000 checks approved this morning in D.C. He said, I am headed to the Senate floor once again to try one last time to pass the $2,000 checks for the COVID relief for working families. Our strong working Americans deserve it. Now let me know in the comments if you agree with Josh Hawley. He's really making a name with himself, not only with this, but also with supporting Trump's allegations recently with that election. But let's take a look and see what Chuck Schumer had to say. Well, he reiterated the fact that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris will become president in 19 days. He also retweeted Bernie Sanders' demand for a vote on $2,000 checks. Now, Bernie came out strong the last couple of days and is slamming Republicans for saying, you know what, we can't spend too much money on regular American people who need help, but we can pass billions of dollars in tax breaks for billionaires. He said, Republican leadership has endless amounts of money for bloated military budgets and tax breaks for billionaires. But when working American families need help, oh my God, we cannot afford it. He is tired of the hypocrisy, is what he said. He specifically went on to say that Republicans gave billions of dollars in tax breaks to the Koch family, who have a net worth of $113 billion, but they cannot give $2,000 checks to the good American people. He said, funny, they had no problem giving a $1.4 billion tax break to Charles Koch and his family, and when they have a net worth of $113 billion. Now, let me know in the comments if you agree with Bernie. Now, we'll get into exactly why Republicans are fighting these checks. One of the main reasons is because Democrats did not put an income limit. So even those who are semi-wealthy would still get stimulus checks. For example, someone who makes $300,000 a year and has 4 kids would still get stimulus checks, okay? So that was the main issue with these larger checks. However, Democrats did not really acknowledge that. But what exactly happened today, okay? So on your screen, you are looking at senate.gov, okay? And on their front page, they will headline exactly what is happening every single day in the Senate. And today they convened and resumed consideration of the veto message on H.R. 6395. Well, what the heck is that, okay? Well, most of you have heard the fact that Trump vetoed the National Defense Authorization Act, right? And somehow this became tied in with stimulus because Bernie Sanders said that he would not approve this unless Mitch McConnell brought the $2,000 stimulus checks to a vote. So let me recap what happened, okay? The House and the Senate passed the National Defense Authorization Act a couple of weeks ago. Trump vetoed it, okay? So Trump denied it for various reasons, but I won't get into that in this video. He denied it. Now, the bill had enough support from both Democrats and Republicans that they could actually override Trump's veto, okay? When a bill has a massive majority vote, they can actually override Trump's veto. So the House quickly overrode that veto, and then the Senate said, okay, now we're going to override it as well because we need to pass this act. However, Bernie Sanders said, I am going to filibuster this override unless Mitch McConnell brings $2,000 to a vote. He said, Mitch, all I want is a vote. What's the big deal? Why can't we even vote on these larger checks? You know what? And let me know if you agree. Because why not let the senators vote, right? Well, the real reason here, guys, is because there was actually a chance it would pass, which is really sad, okay? Because there was a lot of Republican senators who said they would vote for it as well. And Mitch McConnell was worried that it would actually pass without having his other demands included as well. But we'll get to that in just a minute. But what exactly happened with Bernie Sanders' filibuster today? Well, the Senate moved to a vote, and they did vote today. They held a vote, and they also had a negotiation and a debate on these $2,000 stimulus checks, okay? So Bernie Sanders came out once again, tried to filibuster, and demand that they vote on these $2,000 stimulus checks. That Mitch McConnell moved to a vote to override Bernie Sanders' filibuster, okay? Yes. So just like the veto, if they have enough majority vote, they can actually override someone's filibuster as well. So if Mitch McConnell was able to get 60 senators to vote to override Bernie Sanders' filibuster, then he would end that filibuster, and they would then move to a vote to completely override Trump's veto, basically putting us in a situation where we would have to then try and pass these $2,000 stimulus checks next week, okay? So that happened. Mitch McConnell brought it to a vote. He got his 60 votes and essentially overrode Bernie Sanders' filibuster, guys. Really bad news, but don't worry, we do still have some leverage here. These Georgia Senate elections do still give us some leverage to try and get these $2,000 stimulus checks approved. And guys, just take a look at this man, Bernie Sanders. This man looks exhausted. He's been fighting for the good people to get these larger stimulus checks approved. And let me know in the comments whether or not you like Bernie. Let me know if you're happy that he's been fighting for us to get these larger checks. Now, Bernie and Senator Hawley have been the two top senators fighting for us to get these larger stimulus checks. And of course, Bernie did everything he could, but Mitch McConnell still overrode him with that 60-vote majority, guys. So let me know in the comments if you like Mitch McConnell. I think most of us can agree that we don't. But the sad thing is that Mitch McConnell needed the help of some Democrats to override Bernie Sanders' filibuster, okay? So that means some Democrats, I think it was about 8 or 9 Democrats, actually voted to override Bernie's filibuster as well. So it's not just Republican guys. There are a lot of Democrats that wanted to override this filibuster as well. But what about Mitch McConnell and Trump's demands? Remember, Mitch McConnell came out with his own $2,000 stimulus check bill. He wanted these approved, but he wanted to include two things: a repeal of Section 230 and creating an election committee to review the results of this past presidential election. Now, what the heck happened to that? Well, Trump has been basically radio silent on the issue of $2,000 stimulus checks since last week. He has not even mentioned it, which, I don't know, it almost makes us feel like he's given up on the situation. But McConnell himself said that he would not unhinge the $2,000 checks from these demands, okay? And bottom line here, the election committee, we're not sure how much of an issue that is with Democrats, but Section 230 is a can of worms. And I'm sure at this point, all of you have heard a lot about Section 230, so I won't really detail exactly what it is, but that is something that Democrats do agree that they need to modify and at least examine, but that is a can of worms that would take months to solve, okay? So that's not going to happen. We're not going to be able to fix Section 230 and get these $2,000 checks approved quickly. So our greatest hope now are these Georgia elections, guys, because if they are able to put pressure on Republicans to pass these checks, the main reason they're going to be able to do so is because of these Georgia elections, because Mitch McConnell is on record as saying that the reason Republican senators might lose this election is because they have not been able to pass a massive stimulus package. They passed a smaller package, but it doesn't seem like that's been enough to put Republicans over the hump and make sure they maintain control of the Senate. So these elections are set to take place on January 5th. So that is a new deadline we have, guys, because if Mitch McConnell thinks he needs to pass larger checks to win these elections, he is going to have to do so before January 5th, guys. So that is our biggest leverage point remaining. But like I said, at this point, we're basically in a 50-50 tie, and we're not sure if McConnell will fold and approve these larger checks. Those Republican senators from Georgia support the larger checks. Of course, the Democrats do as well. So we do have a chance to get these approved. So let me know in the comments, guys. Do you think Mitch McConnell will approve these checks before that election on January 5th? Or do you think we'll have to wait until Joe Biden is inaugurated? Because it is said that Joe Biden has been behind the scenes trying to get the next larger package put together so he can pass it as soon as he is inaugurated. And Democrats are expected to pass another package in the House, even if Mitch McConnell denies this until next week. The new Congress is set to be sworn in next week as well, at which point the House is expected to pass a new package, guys. But there's a lot going on here, but I just wanted to point one thing out. Mitch McConnell, the most hated man in America, he's been serving in the Senate for over 35 years. If you look on your screen, from 1985 until now. That's almost 36 years in the Senate and 14 years in leadership. He's been a party leader or majority leader for 14 years. Guys, how can we not get rid of Mitch McConnell? Guys, comment down below. Get rid of Mitch if you want to get rid of Mitch. It's completely ridiculous. I cannot believe he's still been in office in Senates for 35 years, guys. And after everything that's happened, if we can't get rid of him after the stimulus debacle, after he denied stimulus for almost an entire year, I just don't know what it's going to take to get rid of this guy, guys. But guys, thank you so much for watching. If you want to stick around, I'm going to quickly cover how to make sure you get your stimulus check, the smaller stimulus check which was approved, how to make sure you get your unemployment boost, and how to make sure you get your rental assistance money once that is rolled out. Well, as far as the stimulus checks, the best way, and really the only legitimate way to track it, is to go to irs.gov, get my payments. So if you Google irs.gov space get my payment, it's the first link that comes up. Now, unfortunately, that is still offline. Now, the White House said it would be up in the next 48 to 72 hours. That was about 4 days ago. Okay, so the best thing you can do at this point is check this website daily. See, currently it says get my payment is temporarily offline. Unfortunately, you have to check daily. Once it's up in the next couple of days, you should be able to track your payment there, but make sure you only use this website. Do not use any other website because there are scams which are just gathering your info to steal your identity, guys. So only use irs.gov. Now, as far as the unemployment boost, when exactly will you get those payments? Well, really good news. These are expected to roll out quickly. Now, Governor Cuomo from New York and a few other states have already announced that you should be receiving your payments late next week. So basically, you would not have any gap in payments for the unemployment boost if you were already on unemployment. Now, what about the other states? When can you expect to receive the new $300 unemployment boost? Well, experts say that the majority of states should have these payments sent out within 2 weeks. So our best guess here is that half of you will have a week gap in payments, okay? But they will be retroactive. So if you miss a week, the next week you will then receive 2 weeks payments, if that kind of makes sense. But the best thing to do for your individual states, okay, because this is on a state basis. Each state is implementing this on their own. So the best thing you can do is go to Google, like you'll see on your screen. I Googled unemployment insurance Illinois login because I live in Illinois, but just place your state where I put Illinois. Now, the first link should be a .gov website. That should lead you to your unemployment insurance portal. So if you see here, this is the Illinois unemployment insurance portal. And right there on their front page, they will tell you what is going on with this unemployment boost. For example, here for Illinois, they said, Illinois is working with federal partners to implement the new federal relief package recently signed into law. Updates will be made here and on our social media website as soon as they become available. Make sure to check back for information. So because every state is different, the best thing I can do is show you how to find your individual state's information. So again, this is Illinois, and they will have updates daily as far as when exactly these payments will be implemented. But do this process with your individual state so you can track exactly when you will receive your payment from your actual state. Now, what about that rental assistance money? Right? Because this last package approved $25 billion in rental assistance. When are we going to get that money, guys? Well, unfortunately here, we're a little bit more in the dark, okay? So with the unemployment boost, we have a lot more info because there's a precedent now. We've had other unemployment boosts approved. We've kind of done this before all year. Now, the rental assistance is a little more unclear. We don't have a lot of guidance. And again, this is going to be on a state-by-state basis and even a county-by-county basis. So I'm going to show you exactly how to check your own individual county so you can get that information as quickly as possible, okay? So Google your county. So for example, my county is Cook County. So I typed in Cook County rental assistance. Whatever your county is, if it's Wayne County, whatever your county is, type that county in and then type in rental assistance. Now, again, look for a .gov website, okay? It's pretty obvious, like here, Cook County, Illinois.gov, rental assistance. So I clicked on that link and I go to it here. And this is your best source for your individual county to get updates on that rental assistance program and exactly how to apply. Now here you see it says, what is the COVID-19 Recovery Rental Assistance Program? And it tells you when you can apply, etc., okay? So you have to find your own individual county. Now experts think it's going to take 3 weeks to 3 months for each county to implement the system. That's really unfortunate, guys, but the good news is that Bernie Sanders is expected to extend the eviction moratorium for the rest of the pandemic. So even if these payments are delayed, you should not be able to get evicted because it's already been extended to January 31st, and Biden will be extending this until the end of the pandemic. Now, Biden is also expected to approve another massive stimulus package. He has promised to approve another package with more stimulus checks, larger stimulus checks, another large unemployment boost. He said he wants it to be $600, as well as $200 per month for those on Social Security. He also wants to include $10,000 in student loan forgiveness, as well as, of course, extend that eviction moratorium until the end of the pandemic, guys. But we will have updates daily on the rental assistance, the unemployment boost, as well as the $2,000 stimulus check and Biden's plans for another massive stimulus package, guys. But if you made it this far into my video, don't forget to subscribe, like the video if you like this content. And if you made it this far into my video, thank you so much for supporting my channel. It really means the world to me, and I really do appreciate every single view. My thoughts go out to each and every one of you during this hardship. I've had so many comments from people who truly deserve the help. And if you're watching this video, you're probably going through a difficult season in your life. Just know that you will get through this and you will be in a better place. Stay strong out there and keep taking steps towards a better tomorrow. Thanks again for watching and have a great day.